And we're kind of highlighting some alums, some KU alums, as well as faculty people and just kind of on-campus people and the Indigenous component of that. So, Julia, it's great to have you on.
Thank you.
Let's start out with where you're from and kind of like how you got your start. And like, so we know each other, but,
right.
but these guys don't know you. Where are you from, Julia?
I am from South Dakota. Well, I was raised almost everywhere, but I mainly grew up on my maternal side of the reservation, which is Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe in Eagle Butte, South Dakota. I graduated from Eagle Butte in 2001. From there, I went to various different colleges, ended up here at Haskell and Lawrence. Never really experienced a tribal college before until we really went to Haskell, and we got involved with a lot of events and a lot of clubs, a lot of social events, public events, even classes were really awesome. All the teachers, all the students were really amazing, really proactive like you, like did stuff like this, and it's really nice to see. That's empowering. When I graduated from Haskell, I started an internship with ARIA, American Indian Health Research and Education Alliance. And I started working there for 5 years. I started as a data entry clerk and worked my way up to a community outreach coordinator. And in the middle of that, I wanted to pursue my master's degree. I was recruited here to the Indigenous Studies program right here at University of Kansas. And I started in 2013. That was an incredible journey as well. I got to be, I was appointed the First Nation Student Association president at that time, and we did a lot of stuff on the campus with panel discussions, protests. And my advisor at the time was Paul Kelton. He's in the history department. He was my advisor. He's a really awesome advisor. He's really very intelligent and really kept me on my toes and made me stay on track with everything. He's very hard on me, and I liked that as my advisor. And I graduated in 2015. For a few years, I was struggling to find a job here in Kansas. And that's one kind of another topic I want to touch on too after a little later about the pipeline about how to get Indigenous Studies job placements.
Sure.
Because I was struggling after I finished here. I was struggling really bad with employment. So I moved home to the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe. I went back home for only a year, but I worked as an adjunct instructor. I worked at the Public Defender's Office, and I also worked at ICWA.
Okay.
Yeah. I worked at several places, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed being home. It's just everywhere you work, it's the pay. And I got another job opportunity here at, it's called PAIR Project, Preschoolers Adjustment Intergenerational Risk Project.
Okay.
Yeah, so we work with 3 to 5-year-old children, a diverse population. We are trying to work with these children in their heart rate, their post-traumatic stress disorder. We recruit these families from different areas, and we only work in Missouri. We can't work in Kansas. Right. So we work in Missouri. A lot of our data collection is there, and so I've been working here since August of this year, 2018, presently. I really enjoy it, and what I do is I work with the teachers on that project. So I contact the teachers, send them a survey, see how that relationship is between that student and the teacher. So.
Awesome. I really want to unpack what you were kind of talking about earlier with this whole pipeline of Indigenous Studies stuff. What do you mean when you're talking about job placement? Let's show that for our listeners.
Sure.
How does that kind of shake out?
Yeah.
Indigenous Studies there's no there are no pathways kind of set, right? Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like, for example, if you see the nursing students, they have job placement soon as they're done graduating. So do doctors, they have residencies. So do social workers, there's all kinds of social work out there. Even for elementary teachers, there's a need for elementary teachers nationwide. Right. And whenever I graduated, to be honest, I was kind of embarrassed whenever I would ask someone, someone would ask me and say, so what are you going to do with an Indigenous Studies degree? Or if I ask, say, what did you get your master's in? I said, Indigenous Studies. And I just kind of get like, oh, okay. But then my friend, I remember I had a friend and she got her master's in like social work or something. And she said some fancy word and they're like, oh, wow. And their eyebrows raised.
Right.
And I wanted to advocate for Indigenous Studies students after that. And having a job placement or pathway or pipeline for students to have something in place for them, you know, because a lot of them want to go on to teach, or a lot of them want to go do something like this and do this podcast and get more information. Because that's the way, you know, social media is the in thing now.
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody gets their information from social media. And so me, I always wanted to teach, just like I did in South Dakota when I went back for 1 year. I taught, you know, as an adjunct instructor, but the pay was not it's not livable.
Right.
So that's why I came back here, so I can have a steady income. And there it wasn't always guaranteed I was going to teach every semester.
Right.
They just kind of called, literally one class, I literally got called that day, like, can you teach a class? We really need someone. Someone just backed down on us. Can you come teach a class? I was like, oh, my God, okay. I'll be right there. I just hope something in the near future, maybe FINSA, the current FINSA program will touch on that subject, because I think there's a need, more need for Indigenous studies, and especially Indigenous people, teaching those classes.